All right, let's talk Euphoria. It's the show that, let's be honest, completely took over our lives. And the wait for the final season, it has been absolutely brutal. But the end is finally in sight. So what can we actually expect from the third and final season? Well, we're going to break down everything you need to know.
For 4 years. Can you even believe it? That's how long it's been since the season 2 finale just left us all completely speechless. A whole lot can happen in 4 years, right? And believe me, that time gap is about to change everything for the show.
Okay, so here's what we're going to cover in this explainer. First, we'll talk about that 4-year wait. Then we'll get into life after high school, which is a huge deal. We'll look at the new faces and returning favorites, say a proper farewell to some East Highland folks, and finally, we'll dive into what actually happens in Season 3, from what we know for sure to the wildest fan theories. Let's get into it. All right, first up, the 4-year wait is over. The premiere is finally here. Let's kick things off with the question I know you're all asking. When is it actually coming back? Well, the wait is over. We have a date.
So why the 4-year gap? What happened? Well, it was basically a perfect storm of delays. I mean, think about it. The season 2 finale aired way back in February 2022. Then, bam, the Hollywood strikes hit, and that just stopped everything in its tracks. And on top of that, you've got a cast that blew up. Zendaya, Sydney Sweeney, Jacob Elordi, they're all major stars now with insane schedules. Plus, we all know creator Sam Levinson loves to rewrite things. So you put it all together, and yeah, it takes a while. But the good news is, filming finally kicked off in early 2025, which brings us to the big day, April 12th, 2026.
And you know, that long wait actually leads us right into the single biggest, most game-changing thing about this new season. We're talking about a 5-year time jump that changes, well, everything. Say goodbye to the glitter and grime of East Highland High.
Yep, you heard that right. A 5-year time jump. The East Highland crew, they're now in their mid-20s, and they are facing the messy, complicated, kind of scary reality of being an adult. This isn't just about teenage drama anymore. Oh no, this is about who these people grew up to be. It's about rent, it's about careers, it's about the real, lasting consequences of everything they did back then finally catching up to them. And I mean, just look at how drastically things have changed for everyone. Rue, she's not just navigating sobriety anymore, she's in Mexico trying to deal with a $10,000 debt to Lori. You remember Lori, yikes. And then there's Cassie and Nate, get this, they're married and living in the suburbs. I know, right? Can you even imagine? Something tells me that's not going to be a peaceful home. Maddy, on the other hand, got out. She's working at a talent agency in Hollywood. And Jules, she's at art school, dealing with that classic, can I actually make a living doing this anxiety? Okay, so a big time jump like that, you know it also means a big shakeup in the cast. Let's get into who's in and who's out for this final season.
All right, first, the good news. Let's all take a deep breath because the core crew is back. Yes, Zendaya as Rue, Hunter Schafer as Jules, Sydney Sweeney, Jacob Elordi, all our favorites. Maddy, Lexi, Elliot, Ollie, they're all returning to finish out their stories. So thank goodness for that.
But here's where things get really interesting. The world of Euphoria isn't just staying the same. It's getting bigger. Like a lot bigger. How much bigger? 28. That's not a typo. 28 new actors are joining the cast. This tells us the story is breaking out of that small-town bubble and becoming something way more expansive.
And we are not talking about just a few random new faces. No way. We are getting some huge names. We're talking the one and only Rosalia. The legend herself, Sharon Stone, is joining as a TV showrunner who Lexi works for. And the amazing Natasha Lyonne is in it too, though her role is still top secret. This is a whole new level for the show.
Now, with so many new people coming in, it also means we have to say some goodbyes. So for this next part, we're going to take a moment to talk about the characters and the actors who we won't be seeing in Season 3.
First up is Barbie Ferreira, who gave us the absolute icon Kat Hernandez. She won't be returning. She's been pretty open about why, saying she felt there were creative differences and, in her words, she didn't want to just be the fat best friend. You have to respect her for that. So it seems like Kat's story really wrapped up back in Season 2. And it's not just Kat. With the time jump, it makes sense that some other people are moving on too. We won't be seeing Rue's sister Gia or other characters like Ethan and McKay. Their stories were really tied to the high school setting, and the show is just in a different place now. And we also have to talk about the heartbreaking, real-world losses that have hit the show. In 2023, we lost the amazing Angus Cloud, who was just perfect as Fesco. The show made the right call, he will not be recast, and they're going to honor his memory within the story. And then, in another devastating loss,
Eric Dane, who played Cal Jacobs so brilliantly, passed away in early 2026. The one bit of solace is that he was able to finish filming all of his scenes, so we will get to see his final powerful performance.
Okay, so let's put it all together. The time jump, the cost changes, the goodbyes. What does this all actually mean for the story? It's time to get into the good stuff. What's really going to happen in Season 3?
All right, so let's start with what we know for sure. This is the confirmed stuff. First, Rue. She's in Mexico, and she's got to pay back that $10,000 to Lori. That is going to be intense. Then Nate and Cassie. Their suburban marriages, surprise, surprise, totally unstable. Of course it is. We've also got Lexi working as an assistant for Sharon Stone's character, so we'll see her trying to make it in Hollywood. And as we mentioned, we will see Cal Jacobs' story get a conclusion, with a potential redemption arc starting from solitary confinement.
Okay, so that's the official word. But let's be real. With a show like Euphoria, the fan theories are where half the fun is. So what is everyone out there predicting is going to happen?
And right now, there are two huge theories that are pretty much everywhere. Theory number one is all about Maddy's revenge. The idea is that she's helping Cassie with an adult content site, but she's actually playing the long game, scheming to completely ruin both Cassie and Nate for everything they did. Ooh, I love that one. Then there's the other big one, which is a little darker, Nate's demise. The theory is that after everything he's done, and with new enemies circling, this is the season where Nate Jacobs finally runs out of luck. A lot of people are convinced he is not going to survive the finale.
Which really brings us to the biggest question of all, right? 5 years have passed. But are they actually adults? Or are they just older? Have they really grown up, or are they just the same kids carrying all that same baggage into a whole new chapter of their lives? I guess we're all going to find out very, very soon.